Hey, excuse me, it's been a while since I've made a YouTube video. In this video though, I'm gonna talk about how I quadrupled my trading account in a year. So I funded it with $2,500 at first, to trade zero account, and I mostly sold stocks or bet against them. And then after a year of funding my account, I turned the 2,500 into 10,000. And so in this video, I can talk about how I did that. And mostly I'll talk about the mindset, like what it takes to start being successful with trading stocks. So I want to really talk about my strategy, like the patterns in this video. Okay, so first of all though, I treated it like a business. And most people though, they don't have good business practices. When they want to start a business, they just jump into a business and they don't even research the sector they're getting into. And then even with the stock market, for example, I knew someone who said they were also in California, and they said this opened up a Robinhood account, and they started trading, and they didn't even know about the PDT rule, which is a pattern day trader rule. And they ended up getting their account temporarily closed for 90 days. And that tells me that they didn't do any research. They just started trading. If they learned from, any of the trading gurus online, they would know what the PDT rule is. So that's the first thing. So at first I studied forgot exactly how long I studied for, but it was at least 3 months before I started trading. And then I was also studying and thinking about, do I want to trade stocks, or do I want to trade options, or do I want to trade Forex, or do I want to trade blue chip companies, or small caps, or penny stocks? And I ended up deciding to go with penny stocks. And then I also ended up learning, the main guru I learned from was Timothy Sykes. He teaches people how to trade penny stocks, and I learned from some of his top students like Tim Grittani and Stephen Dux. Okay, so now the main mental block though that I think stops people from being successful is that they believe that it is not possible, or they believe they cannot do this, or it's a scam, or what's the common saying, oh, if it were this easy, then everybody would be doing it. If you could quadruple your account in a year, then everyone would be trading stocks. Well, the reality is, though, that it's kind of like the same reason most small businesses fail. And then normally I think the statistic on small businesses is it takes, I heard 3 to 5 years before you become successful in starting a small business. And so for me, with my trading story, I wasn't privileged, so I didn't have someone to help me, or I can borrow 25,000 to get over the PDT rule. And that's basically if you're in the US, you have to have $25,000 or you'll be under the PDT rule, which means like you can only have 3 day trades per 5 rolling business days. So if like I buy a stock of Apple today and I sell a stock or a share of Apple in the same day, that counts as 1 day trade. Okay, so anyway, I didn't have anyone to, because there's some stories of people I heard like they started trading and they already had $25,000 or more, and most people they don't, they're under the PDT rule. Okay, so anyway, now when I treated it like a small business, and so I wasn't privileged, so I had to work like everyone else. So I was working at the time when I saved up. I would work in I was working in a warehouse, and then at the end of the year, and then I also had like some I was contributing to like the house payments and stuff. And so mainly I saved up at the end of the year after tax season. I saved up like $2,500, and I opened up an E-Trade account. And then I was buying stocks, and I blew up my account basically in a year. And then next year, I worked again, year two, working in the warehouse. As tax season comes, I fund my account with another 1,500, and I basically blow it up again in a year. And so why most people fail in small businesses or in trading is because once they fail or blow up their account, or they'll quit. And so that's why most people don't succeed, because they fail the first time. Their confidence is taken away, and then they believe, oh, it's not for me, or trading doesn't work, or oh, this guy's a scam, I blew up my account, it doesn't work. And so for me, after 2 years, then I found out with Trade Zero that they created the brokerage account, created an American version, and then I was able to fund it with only $2,500. And so at the time, most brokers, millionaire short sellers like Stephen Dux and Tim Gertani would recommend like you need like 30,000 or 50,000 to open up an account. But with this one, it was only 2,500 I needed with Trade Zero. And so I said, okay, I tried 2 years trying to buy stocks, and so maybe that's not for me. Let me try short selling. And then when I started short selling, it seems that shorting fits more with my personality, because for the most part you need or the stock, it seems with shorting most of the time, for the short setups that I trade, it seems you have more time to enter and more time to exit, while with buying it seems like you have to kind of be quick, get in and out to capture the move on the morning spike. And if you don't take your profit real quickly, like, you lose. And so for me, since shorting, it seems like you have more time to enter and exit. It seems to work better for me. And so anyway, so that's the main thing that I did, is I stuck with it, and I started So basically, though, from a business perspective, like let's think of it if it was like opening a restaurant. It would be like I opened up a restaurant and then it failed after a year, and then I opened up another restaurant and then that one failed, and then finally I opened up a third restaurant, and now finally I'm starting to be profitable. So, anyway, the main thing is you have to believe that it is possible and you have to stick with it if this is what you decide to do, that you want to trade penny stocks or trade stocks, then you just have to keep with it and don't give up. And it sounds kind of cheesy, but that's the main thing. And then if you can see on like my IG, which is also at Alan So Blank, the same name as my YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description. You can see that I put the date that I started. It was sometime in this month, the 6th, so it's 6. What's this? Whatever the 6th month of the year is, January, February, March, April, May, June. So like June of 2020, I started, and you can, if you go back on my Instagram page, you can see when I started, and then you can see there was like a time where I stopped trading, posting my trades for like a month or so, and then I started again when I was around 3,000. But then, I kept posting them, and you can see that I grew my account to like 10,000. And then I also take screenshots of my entries and exits, so you know that I'm not just making it up. And so anyway, I guess I just wanted to make this video to kind of know that you have to treat it like trading, and you have to put in the time, and you don't give up. And obviously, if you don't have, and then also with the money that you start with, you don't start with so much, or you don't start with money that you need to pay the bills and stuff. It should just be some side money that you have that you can lose it, and like your life won't fall apart if you lose that money. Okay, so anyway, that's I thought I could just make this video, and then maybe later I can start making some pattern videos if you want. Like I can talk about the overextended gap up pattern in some detail, and probably for my IG I could have like easily 5-10 examples from my posts that I can talk about for the overextended gap down pattern. So I can make that video next. Okay, so anyway, this video is just mainly about like what it takes. You need to believe that it is possible, that you can trade and treat it like a business, and be prepared. For me, my mindset is it's kind of like college, like how some people they're willing to spend like 4 or 5 years or more in college and get into even student loan debt, like $10,000 or more sometimes, and then they're not even guaranteed a job right after they graduate and get their degree. And so for me, it's like I was kind of treating it like my market tuition. For the first 2 years, I lost like around $3,000, and then finally I started having a green year, and now I'm up like 7,500 because I started with 2,500. Okay, so that's the mindset of trading, and if you're not prepared to have, that it might take you 3 years before you start having a green month, and you're not prepared to possibly, start an account, blow up your account, then you shouldn't really start. And then also, one, like you're probably gonna have to spend at least, a few $100 or even like 1,000 to buy, maybe someone's DVD course. Like it wasn't until I bought one of Stephen Dux's courses that I really started getting the hang of trading, and that I started being profitable in trading. So anyway, that's kind of like the tuition. Like sometimes when you go to college, like with all the textbooks that you pay and the tuition, it can easily get over $1,000 at the end of the year. Okay, so anyway, this was kind of like it might be a long video, too long, but hopefully it helps someone. And sometimes you just have to start. Like you might not feel like starting always. To take that initial action, it could be kind of like taking a cold shower. Like most people, they're not used to taking a cold shower. And if you try to take a cold shower, at first it's like going to be hard to start. So sometimes you just have to push yourself to start like that. It might feel like taking a cold shower, it's going to make you uncomfortable. But you have to start, take action, fund your account with some money that you can afford to lose. Take a risk, buy someone's DVD, not just anyone's, though. You should do your own research and you find out who you should learn from. Okay, so anyway, that's like the mindset and kind of what you have to do to expect to be successful. Like I could have easily given up after my first year, my second year. I hear a lot of people would say like, oh, it's just like gambling. I'm wasting my time. And so it's important to believe that it is excuse me. Okay, that it is possible, that you can be successful, and it's gonna be hard because most of the time, like something like this, it has a potential to make you like a self-made millionaire. Like most of the time, probably your friends and your family and the people you hang out with, unless they're like self-made millionaires, like within a few years, because that's what's possible with trading. So if you're gonna try to be successful, if you're successful, you might become a self-made millionaire in a few years. And so unless you're surrounded by people who have become self-made millionaires in a few years, then you might have a good support group. But most of the time, no one will believe in you because you probably won't be surrounded by self-made millionaires. And so that's why you have to kind of have that faith that you believe you can be successful. And sometimes you're not going to have a track record of success at first. You might look a bit at your life and just go, I only have a track record of failure. And then you're going to be suggestible and believe you're a failure, maybe. And so you just have to take that action first and believe that you can do this. Okay, I'll see you. It's been 20 minutes now, so anyway, if this video is helpful, you can let me know. Maybe it's too long, and if you want me to make more videos like this, or maybe talk about some of my trading strategies, I can do that. Anyway, goodbye for now.